All right. Good afternoon or good morning to you all from beautiful Santa Barbara. We got out of bed so we could talk to you. I understand it's the middle of the day for you. My name is Joy Kelly, and together with my charming husband, Sandy Campbell, we operate an aeroponic vertical farm on our rooftop near the beach in Santa Barbara, California, and it's called Chapala Gardens. Originally, we were a small commercial operation that our daughter over on the left managed right after she got out of college. But now we donate the produce mostly to local charities and nonprofits. We offer an internship program through the University of California, Santa Barbara, and we teach individuals, families, businesses, and communities to grow food using this simple, economical, sustainable, and fun system that's called the Tower Garden. In the center, you see some of our partners who take this message out into the world. And over on the right, you see my husband getting ready to bring some of our produce to the Organic Soup Kitchen and one of the charities that we support here.
Giant kale leaves.
Giant kale leaves. Growing with the Tower Garden solves so many problems, chief of which, of course, is providing access to high quality, nutrient-dense food to communities who might not be able to have access to such foods. We've established Tower Garden setups at every level of educational institutions and senior facilities, farms employing veterans of the armed forces. And recently, we witnessed the first farm to employ and house young adults who aged out of the foster care system here in the U.S. I don't know if you have that in the U.K. Because the Tower Gardens grow using 90% less water, land, and resources, and because it's a closed-loop system, meaning there's no runoff into the groundwater, they're super sustainable and great for our planet. There are commercial setups all over the world, ranging from micro farms with 10 towers. Farms like ours, we've got at one point we had 40 operating. We've got about 25 right now, to large scale operations with over 500 towers. And you can see a farm up on the left-hand side that's in Florida, operating in a greenhouse. They've got about 125 towers. On the right picture up in the top is the world's first wheelchair accessible Tower Garden farm. And then on the bottom right, you'll see Manhattan's first rooftop farm on a top of a upscale restaurant in New York City. And it's truly that farm to table experience. And then the bottom left is our farm, Chapala Gardens. And you can see some of the towers peeking out over the rooftop. We love that this provides access to food, as we said, but also learning opportunities, getting the community involved, improving property values, creating sustainability, and there's also many commercial possibilities available. Since we've been utilizing Tower Gardens and helping other people do so since 2011, we are uniquely qualified to guide prospective purchasers to the correct setup for their needs and help them with planning. Of course, it'd be great if you all lived in Santa Barbara, but we do this routinely via Zoom calls and presentations, and we can handle much more detailed information via email. On the bottom right-hand side, you'll see the two different versions that we have. Individuals in the UK have access to the one on the left. It's called a home version, and it's a little bit smaller than the one on the right, which we use more in commercial situations. And in some countries, they're available, both models are available to residents or commercial setups. The picture over on the left is an example of a small farm just using a handful of towers, but producing a large amount of food. And we can, my husband is adept at creating CAD layouts, and we can do financial forecasting and help you with all of that if you want to do something on a larger scale. So how does the Tower Garden work? It's actually very simple. I had wanted to show you a video today, but it didn't cooperate, but it is embedded in the presentation that I believe Jenny will be sharing with you. And you can also go to this YouTube channel to see it. Tower Garden, as I said earlier, uses 90% less water, land, and resources than traditional growing methods. Plants grow 30% larger in 2/3 time. This was verified in a study that was done at the University of Mississippi here in the US. There's no soil, there's no weeding, and hence less pests. As I said, it's a closed loop system, so there's no runoff. It's a simple plug and play technology, kind of like IKEA for plants. You can grow indoors or outdoors. It sets up in minutes. Stephen Ritz of the Green Bronx Machine likes to say, if you're a man, you can set it up in 45 minutes. And if you're a woman, you can set it up in 15, because you'll probably actually read the manual or watch the video that shows you how to do it. Instead of the video to show you on the bottom, my husband's showing you a line drawing of how the tower works. You can see on the bottom, we have a reservoir that holds, the flex unit holds 20 gallons, the home unit holds 13. And then there's a small pump that pumps the water and nutrients up to the top. We call it a shower cap, and then drizzles down and gives nutrients and water to all of the plants using a proprietary formula that was developed at the Epcot Center. This is actually how NASA grows food in space. So we're kind of proud to be affiliated with them. In terms of ease and setup, like I said, this is one of the best aspects of the Tower Garden. Over on the left, you see my daughter who's making fun of me. She ran this with she had a little bit of gardening experience, but no farming experience, did a 2-day workshop in Florida and came home to run a commercial setup for 2 years with 40 towers. So really, really simple to implement. On the right, you'll see my husband and a friend set up all 40 towers in an afternoon. That's how easy it is. The left bottom are 2 of my Air Force buddies, and Amy Meyer is a colonel in the Armed Forces. And the first thing that they have moved, no matter where they live, she just came home from Germany. Her friend Heather just came home from Korea. And no matter where they go, the first thing they have their movers take is the Tower Garden. Super easy. I think it weighs 37 pounds. Not even that.
Because you take the water out.
Yeah. Yeah. See, we do take the water out before we ship them. And on the bottom right, you can see just how easy it is to rearrange the plants if you don't like it. If you're doing this in soil, you're kind of out of luck. If you don't have the plant where you want it, you'll have to start over again. But with the towers, you can rearrange them, and it's super easy to do. When we think about the benefits the end user will see, we agree that it's really the most beautiful part about Tower Garden. Children and adults alike are mesmerized as they watch these plants grow. Remember that they grow 30% larger in 2/3 of the time compared to plants grown in soil. That's my grandson down on the right-hand side. He literally has been eating off of a tower since he could walk. He'll just go up and pick the greens off, and creating tastes like that for kids is it's priceless. On the left, you'll see students in one of the Green Bronx Machines projects in New York City. Just really phenomenal what Stephen Ritz, who's up on the right, has been able to do with the towers. And he's getting kids interested in education because they're interested in growing things. And that's kind of a universal thing across the board. I don't know anyone who doesn't love the fact that they can grow plants themselves, even if they've never been able to grow anything themselves. My husband had never even had a garden in his life, and he now operates our farm.
And Stephen's transforming his school to full attendance and full graduation and large employment from what was really a destitute situation.
Yeah, I mean, the Bronx is the poorest congressional district in the US. And the Stephen's school was one of the first schools to implement Tower Gardens in a really meaningful way. Their program with their reach out is literally saving lives by delivering food, and the educational outcomes with their students, as Sandy said, is just phenomenal. They've been able to take graduation rates just through the roof, literacy rates. These kids are going on to have meaningful employment, meaningful education, and we use this technique now around the world. The middle photo is a low-income senior community here in Santa Barbara that provides free, healthy lunches and produce for its residents. I think they have 125 towers. Yeah, and then the photo over on the right is one of the organizations that we support. They are an organization that provides nutritional support for cancer patients, chronically ill, and low-income seniors, and we donate quite a bit of produce to them. I told you earlier about the the kids from the foster care system who have aged out. That is a picture of that developing farm called Stepping Stones. Down on the bottom right-hand side, in the bottom left is that restaurant that we were telling you about, which is just this beautiful, beautiful rooftop over a restaurant in the heart of New York City, growing the ultimate farm-to-table experience. So we think that the possibilities with this are endless. Since 2011, we've been able to do so much, both from a commercial side all the way to philanthropic giving. It's just been a dream come true, and the commercial possibilities are endless as well. We welcome your questions. We're excited to see communities in the UK join us in this mission of inspiring healthy living around the world.